Welcome to Books. We bring you a variety of audiobook novels, ranging from thrilling suspense to sci-fi adventures. Whether you're commuting, enjoying some leisure time, or winding down before bedtime, Open Books is here to accompany you. At midnight, a purple envelope caught Alan's eye as he checked his mailbox, exuding an aura of mystery. "Hey, what's this?" Alan murmured to himself, plucking the envelope from the stack of bills. He tore it open, the anticipation stirring in his chest. Inside, the invitation seemed to whisper with the tantalizing scent of barbecue, inviting him to a lavish feast. Whoa, a barbecue party? Alan's eyebrows shot up in surprise. And it's at that old joint on the edge of town? The location, a decrepit barbecue joint on the edge of the city, was described in the invitation with a tone both casual and challenging, like something out of a surreal dream. Alan read the invitation again, a smirk tugging at his lips. Well, I guess it's time for a little adventure. As he traversed the desolate outskirts of the city, a seemingly forgotten barbecue joint emerged before him. "Creepy place," Alan muttered, eyeing the weathered brick exterior warily. "But hey, all part of the fun, right?" Stepping inside, the thick wooden door exuded a rich, smoky aroma. "Smells delicious already," Alan said, taking a deep breath. "Let's see what this party's all about." The doors to the banquet hall swung open, revealing a feast beyond imagination. "Wow," Alan breathed, eyes widening at the sight before him. "This is something else." However, Alan noticed that all attendees wore meticulously crafted masks, concealing their faces and identities. "Masks, huh?" Alan raised an eyebrow, glancing around the room. Well, this just got interesting. Tension mounted as the evening progressed, an invisible pressure thickening the air. "Starting to feel like we're in a mystery novel," Alan joked nervously, adjusting his mask. "Hope there's a happy ending." As the banquet unfolded, attention was drawn once more to the imposing doors, emitting a deep resonance. "Did you hear that?" Alan's voice was barely a whisper, eyes darting around the room. What's going on? With the thick door, mysterious masks, and the forgotten barbecue joint lost to time, Alan found himself embarking on a journey of challenge and wonder. "Guess we're in for quite the night," Alan said, steeling himself for whatever lay ahead. "Let's see what surprises this place has in store for us." The flickering flames of the charcoal accentuated the extravagance of the barbecue feast, while the tantalizing aroma enveloped the entire banquet hall in a dream of culinary delight. Alan stood by the grilling table, his gaze irresistibly drawn to the ingredients laid out before him. "Alan, have you ever seen such a spread?" remarked Sarah, a fellow participant, her eyes gleaming with excitement as she delicately sprinkled seasoning onto a skewer of shrimp. Alan nodded, a hint of awe in his voice. "It's quite impressive. I've never grilled lobster before." "It's all about the timing, my friend," chimed in Mark, a seasoned chef from the neighboring town, as he expertly flipped a slab of marbled Wagyu beef. "You've got to let it sizzle just right." As Alan delved into the cooking process, he realized this was no ordinary barbecue. The selection of ingredients was peculiar, featuring rare delicacies from around the world. "Hey, Alan, pass me the truffle oil, would you?" called out Emily, a culinary enthusiast, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. "Sure thing," Alan replied, handing her the bottle while stealing a glance at the array of seasonings meticulously arranged on the table. However, as the grilling progressed, Alan began to notice an eerie undertone in the interactions between the participants. "Something feels off, doesn't it?" Alan whispered to Sarah, his brows furrowed in concern as he observed the peculiar exchanges between the guests. Sarah nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. "I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's definitely a strange vibe in the air." Setting down his tongs, Alan discreetly moved aside, attempting to eavesdrop on the conversations among the participants. "Did you catch what they were saying?" Alan asked, turning to Sarah, who shook her head in response. "Not really. But whatever it is, it seems like they're hiding something." The atmosphere within the banquet hall grew increasingly tense, and Alan began to suspect that this barbecue feast was more than just a social gathering. "I don't know about you, but I have a feeling there's more to this than meets the eye," Alan muttered, his eyes scanning the room for any clues. Sarah nodded in agreement. "I think you're right. There's something about the way they're acting. It's like they're all part of some secret society or something." Suddenly, as the door of the barbecue joint slammed shut, the seemingly ordinary barbecue feast transformed into a challenging escape room. "What's happening?" exclaimed Emily, her voice filled with panic as she rushed to the door, only to find it firmly locked. Alan's heart raced as he surveyed the room, his mind racing with questions. "We need to figure out what's going on here. And fast." The escape room at the barbecue joint seemed just the tip of the iceberg. As Alan and the other participants unlocked the final puzzle, he began to realize a larger conspiracy at play. Each participant was entangled in a complex psychological game, and the purpose of the escape room seemed to be to uncover everyone's darkest secrets. As the last door swung open, a spacious room greeted them. Photos of the participants adorned the walls, and simultaneously, an ancient-looking recorder crackled to life. A mysterious voice filled the room. "Congratulations on your successful escape, but the game is just beginning." With those words, the walls revealed compartments, each containing personal files of the participants. Alan furrowed his brows, studying the photos. "Wait, I know this person," he exclaimed, pointing at a familiar face in one of the pictures. Another participant, Sarah, leaned in, her curiosity piqued. "You do? How?" Alan hesitated, then confessed, "We used to work together. But that was years ago. What's going on?" The recorder emitted a soft click, and a riddle materialized beside it. "Past lies will be the key to unveiling the truth, uncovering everyone's true colors." Sarah's eyes widened as she read the riddle aloud. "What does that mean?" Alan shook his head, scanning through his file. "I'm not sure, but it looks like we need to dig into our past to figure it out." With a collective nod, they delved into their files, uncovering hidden pasts and mysterious connections related to the escape room. Each revelation added a layer of intrigue, weaving a web of secrets that bound them together. As they shared their stories, the puzzle slowly unraveled each person's secrets. One participant was a long-lost artist, another a government agent, and Alan himself was revealed to be a former coding prodigy. The subsequent puzzles required them to decrypt documents to reveal hidden truths among them. They realized the organizers possessed vast resources and intimate knowledge of each participant's weaknesses. This escape room was not just a game, but a psychological experiment to uncover their true identities. With each puzzle solved, participants gradually realized their selection for the game was not random. There was a complex organization behind it, aiming to expose their hidden secrets for some unknown purpose. As the final puzzle was unlocked, the voice of the host echoed again. "This is just the beginning. Next, you'll face greater challenges." With each veil lifted, unexpected identities added complexity to the escape room narrative. In the process, participants' true identities became an undeniable focus, and Alan began to question the true purpose of his invitation to the event. After solving all the puzzles, they entered a room filled with documents revealing each participant's identity and past. Alan discovered his past as a brilliant computer expert, but with undisclosed aspects. The identities of other participants also emerged, including a long-lost artist, a government agent, and even an internationally renowned entrepreneur. In the depths of the puzzles, they discovered intricate relationships among the participants. One artist was an old friend of Alan's, and the government agent had once been a bodyguard for the entrepreneur. These connections added layers of complexity to the escape room, and participants gradually realized their selection for the event was not happenstance. As they stood in the room filled with secrets, the voice of the host returned. "Congratulations on unlocking all the puzzles, but it's just a small step toward revealing the truth." Then, photos of all the participants appeared on the screen, each connected by a red thread. The host continued, Your relationships are not coincidental but part of a well-planned game. At that moment, Alan began to suspect the true purpose of his invitation to the event. The revelations of everyone's identities, pasts, and connections surpassed a mere game. The conspiracy seemed deeper, and participants found themselves part of a larger scheme. Worries and tension crept onto their faces, knowing the next adventure would be a more intricate psychological game. As the echoes of the recording reverberated in the room, the participants stepped into the final chamber. The door closed behind them inexplicably, as if the gate of destiny was slowly shutting. The atmosphere in the room was oppressive, with the digits and symbols on the mechanical contraption flickering in the dim light. "This is the final hurdle, everyone. Stay focused." Alan's voice was steady as he gazed at the contraption, an image of an old photograph flashing in his mind. Meanwhile, the other participants quietly surveyed the room, seemingly searching for clues that could liberate them. Silence seemed to fill the room, interrupted only by the faint hum of the machinery. Time ticked away, and the pressure mounted like an invisible blade scraping against their hearts. Their eyes met, each person sensing the anxiety in the others. Suddenly, a participant exclaimed, pointing at a shadow on the floor. "Look, over there." Sarah's voice cut through the tense silence, her finger trembling as she pointed at the ground. Everyone swiftly turned to look, discovering that the shadow on the floor formed a precise symbol, echoing the digits on the mechanical contraption. As the participants finally escaped the chamber and stepped out of the barbecue joint, sunlight bathed their faces, as if signaling the end of it all. However, as they glanced back at the joint, what they saw made each of them pause in their tracks. The walls of the barbecue joint were adorned with photographs, depicting the participants themselves. Beneath each photo was a caption describing their identities, past and present. Alan furrowed his brow slightly, everything seeming beyond his expectations. How did these photos end up here? And the captions? Alan's voice trailed off, his eyes scanning the wall in disbelief. In the midst of their confusion, the recording device activated once more, the host's voice resonating outdoors. "Congratulations on your successful escape, but this is just the beginning of the game. Each of you has been chosen to be a protagonist, unraveling the mysteries of your own lives." Countless questions swirled in Alan's mind. The game apparently entangled every participant's life. They approached their respective photos, finding the descriptions beneath them tugging at their heartstrings. It seems the purpose of this game is not just about escaping, but facing our pasts and presents, Sarah remarked, her voice tinged with realization. Suddenly, a map appeared on the ground, marking each participant's place of birth, upbringing, and current residence. At the center of the map was a complex symbol, hinting at deeper meanings. "This is all so surreal. Why are we the protagonists of this game?" Jack frowned, his eyes reflecting uncertainty. Amidst the hesitant atmosphere, the recording device sounded again. "The purpose of this game is to unveil a greater conspiracy. Each of you is a key figure in this narrative. Now that you've uncovered the truth, new challenges await." Alan exchanged glances with the other participants. Their lives were now intricately woven into the fabric of this game, forming a complex network. The host's voice lingered in the air, leaving behind a mysterious silence. "What should we do?" Alan's voice brimmed with determination. He knew new challenges were on the horizon, and this time, they had to stand united to unravel even more intricate mysteries. If you enjoyed today's story, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. Your support is the driving force behind our continuous creative journey. Look forward to the next episode, where more exciting stories await you at Open Books. Thank you all for tuning in, and until next time, goodbye.